In 1977, newcomer director George Lucas changed the way movies were made with Star Wars, a sci-fi fantasy epic that became legend. Then, in 1999, he created a new legend, the Star Wars prequel trilogy, a parody of everything that makes a movie good, and resulted in Disney several years later buying Lucasfilm and creating Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, a 2015 sci-fi film that has resulted in 3 years of story speculation, a year of crazy marketing that really told us nothing about the movie, and about 3 or 4 months of an insane licensing and endorsement deals that has turned everything into Star Wars this year. To anyone seeing this review in the future, let me paint a picture for a minute. There, that's your picture. That's what the world has become. Now, this resulted in this movie having some of the biggest hype ever. Many people are saying that they've never been more excited for a movie. There has never been a movie maybe this more widespread and this more anticipated in history, and maybe there never will be again. Which does beg the question, can this movie live up to the hype? No, it cannot. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's certainly good. Very good. It's just, not great. I'm going to catch hell for this one. So let's just start off with our story. Do not let the marketing for this movie to trick you. This is a very simple movie. It is simply that after the fall of the Empire and Return of the Jedi, the New Order rose from its remnants. They came back strong, they came back swinging, and after 30 years, or something like that, some amount of time of another war, this has resulted in basically now everything has turned back to the way it was at the beginning of the movie. This time the First Order versus the Resistance. And yeah, that's kind of all you need to know going into this movie, which you learn in an opening crawl anyways. That then results in us meeting our main character, Finn. That's right, Finn is the main character of this movie, not Rey. We'll get to her soon, trust me. But Finn is a big part of the reason this movie works. This is a fast-paced movie. This is easily the fast-paced movie of the year. You thought Mad Max moved at a mile a minute? At least in that movie, it was because the cars were literally moving very fast. This time around, there is so much being thrown at you in this movie. So many fight scenes, so many set pieces, so many creatures and people and characters, and it is the by far most shining achievement of this movie because it is handled perfectly. I always care about who I need to care about in a scene. I always like what's going on. I'm always at the edge of my seat. That never stops. Once again, George Lucas delivers a visually very beautiful movie as we feel like we're back in the world of Star Wars, and it just expands so much. There's so much going on in this movie at any one time, but I always understand what's going on, and that is because of Finn. He is, just as all the controversy in this year began, he is a former stormtrooper who, just simply put, is a good guy and doesn't want to be involved in this. There's no destiny crap, there's no midichlorians, there's no slavery. He's just a good person, and it really makes the movie work because you have a simple character in a simple story doing simple tasks. All of that makes the film very cohesive, and it's all brought together by our bad guy Kylo Ren. Holy crap, is he awesome! I don't know if he's as cool as Vader yet, but he is a badass. Every scene he's in, he's scary, he's intimidating. That lightsaber he uses, don't worry, he uses the side hilt thingies, and that is super cool and super scary. But you also relate to him when you learn his backstory. Some people are saying he's a little uninteresting, but for me, I thought he worked, and I thought his dynamic with Finn alone, what you see develops between these two characters in this movie is great, and it's by far the most exciting thing in this movie, and that's what it works. Great action, great pacing, just all of that, because the rest of the movie is where it sort of disappoints. Well, not that. Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Leia are back. Luke's kind of back, but I don't want to spoil what his involvement in this movie is. But basically, the old cast has returned, and they're done very well. But it is very much setting up the new cast, and I think that might be where things fail. First up, half of the characters in this movie do not do much. They have a couple cool scenes. For the most part, it is just Finn and Kylo Ren the whole time, sort of stealing the whole show. But like Poe Dameron, Oscar Isaac's character, who we all thought was going to be there, and he's really cool, and he's really neat when you meet him, he's barely in the movie. He's there the first 15 minutes, then just disappears till he shows up when it's most convenient. Captain Phasma does nothing. Max von Sydow has an overly glorified cameo, and that just sort of results in you kind of going, BB-8's cool. He's got a lot of personality, but he's way too much of the reason people are accusing this film of just trying to be a remake of A New Hope. He's a big part of that problem. And then you get to Rey, our lead female. A lot of people are loving this character. They say she's the first great true woman in Star Wars since Leia. I don't want to take that away from anyone, but I didn't like this girl at all. Apart from having a backstory that really is hard to follow, makes no sense, and is never really given to us, she needed to be fleshed out way more in this movie. She's just kind of this whiny, annoying, generically tough chick. She doesn't really have a story arc. I didn't feel she was any better. I didn't get her character or her backstory. It made no sense to me. And that's kind of really the problem with her, is that I don't understand her. Also, they do this really annoying thing. I won't spoil it here, but she's just magically able to do everything she needs to do in this movie, way past to the point to where I'm like, that's convenient. It's just too much. And on top of that, again, you just really don't like her. She's the one character I did not like her in this movie. I thought she was there to be a female lead, and she's just really annoying. Maybe they'll rectify her in the sequel. Again, they'll be making Star Wars movies forever, so I'm not too bummed out about things that don't work in this movie, because I know they'll probably fix it next time. But at the same time, you need the character's story arc to resolve in this movie. Star Wars works because if they never made the sequels, it would have been fine. Luke and Han are better, stronger people by the end, regardless of any sequels. And Finn is a much stronger character by the end. Rey's not. She's just kind of whiny and annoying and just doesn't do anything. But again, those are the problems with this movie. It's not flawless. It's not perfect. No one's arguing that it has flaws, but no one seems to really want to just directly say it. And I will. I just think Rey is a big part of the problem. I don't blame Daisy Ridley. I'm sure she'll get her chance next time. But as of right now, it's what's holding this movie back. I just did not like the character. But this is still a fun, exciting movie. One of the funnest movies of the year to just sit down, watch with some popcorn and some friends. It's also the funniest Star Wars movie. That's really good too. But I'm going to say Star Wars The Force Awakens is an 8 out of 10 on the sci-fi scale. Again, it's just a super fun, exciting time at the movies. Does it live up to this hype? No. So go into this movie not thinking you'll get a life-changing experience. Just go in to have fun, and that is what you will get. Well, what did you think? In the comment section below, give me your thoughts on Star Wars The Force Awakens or anything you think about Star Wars. And as always, click to like and click to subscribe so we can continue talking wherever this franchise goes.